gotta always get a good pump in while you're waiting for these games. They're so exciting, so invigorating, and I don't know what else Kungus would say here. I mean, I'm Kungus, yes. So I just keep lifting weights and talk motivational as I do some shoulder lifts as well. You know, gotta get all limbered up, maybe do some stretches along the way. There we go. The stretches in. But yeah, they've been exciting games, don't you guys think? I've been just pumping it right here the whole time, just whoo, whoo. As you can see, very heavy weights. Don't try this at home. Well, actually, you should probably try this at home, because then you'll get a good pump like me. Because you can see, I got... Okay, never mind. But I got something going on over here, and it's a good thing, so don't ruin it, everyone. Anyways, you know what? Okay, I'm losing patience with this. I think it's time that I just bring back Smacks in. But I'm not Kungus. I know I don't have the muscles yet. I gotta start working out again, guys. I understand, but you know what? At least I can try. I can do my best. That was tiring. Oh, I gotta get rid of that background.
You know, it was a fast workout for you, Magical, and it was a fast game for Cloud9 also. I love the effort there. I did not know that this was going to be a costume party, so I would have come prepared.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
You know what? That makes sense. Yeah. You maybe would have had some like bald caps for Kangas or something. But...
I probably would have had I been more prepared. I mean, I have one somewhere around here. I just don't know where. So... If that gives you an idea of how prepared for things I am.
I would have got like a lab coat like Avril had. That would have been pretty fun.
Oh,
we
yes.
could have been in the lab together. That would have been pretty good. But you know what?
Hey, look, Smacks. I wasn't even planning on being here today. I was relaxing on a couch before I got messaged being like, yo, got to step in. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll head on over.
Well, I'm glad you are here, Magical, because this series has been very, very fun so far. Cloud9 putting in so much work in that last game, and specifically Malice. I mean, we know this guy has great performances based on his last few games in the regular season and in this tournament as well. But even knowing that he has that in him, it's still so incredible whenever we get to see stuff like that, like 25 stacks, Medjai's, Evelynn kills, like Evelynn solo kills and the enemy mid laner to close it out. Great performance from him in the squad.
So Malice is not going to get Evelynn, is what I'm hearing. That's what's about to happen, because when we look at these clips, we look back at what just happened in that last game. In fact, in the series as a whole, we've just been seeing that Malice is really good on playing that Evelynn, but also you can see that there are certain positions where, right here, I just expected him to die.
There were so many of those plays where we expected him to die, and from this, I have learned that I need to play more Evelynn, because I do not know the limits of this champion nearly as well as Malice, and in fairness, I probably never will, but it's going to be helpful for me to know this if Malice is going to continue popping off in this tournament on this pick. Although I say that, and I don't think he's ever going to get this champion again. This is too brutal.
I feel like every team learns this lesson the hard way. They didn't really learn it in the first game, even though Malice was someone that was scary and potentially could have set up the victory for Cloud9. But game 2 really flexed that and showed the power that Malice has when piloting Evelynn.
I really love whenever we have these like really cool pocket picks for all of our players here in Proving Grounds. I mean, we saw a bit of that in the last series for Concept playing his Urgot and his Dr. Mundo, and of course we're gonna get it from Malice on his Evelynn. This play really sealed the deal. This one made me just realize just how good Malice was on this pick, because I knew that he was capable of finding picks like that. I even set it up in the game, in the moment. I was like, okay, they have Baron, you have to be really careful of getting picked off. But I wasn't ready for something like that. The amount of damage where you can't even Spirit Rush away, you can't avoid it. That's so clutch for this player.
Even with the Everfrost to get the root, too. You're like doing everything to avoid dying that quickly, and it still didn't matter. Malice was that far ahead, finally completed all the stacks of that Medjai's, had 2 needlessly large frauds in the inventory as well. Malice was just out of control on that Evelynn. But now we're getting ready for game 3, the do or die matchup for both teams. Like in the last series, we got a full game series here for today. Next, I hope you're ready for this, and hopefully my internet will not cut out like previously
Don't curse that, man. Oh no.
I had to put that out there. Gotta curse it. Okay,
We've
fine.
gone
Knock on
through
wood.
too many play-by-plays and too many hosts today to make jokes like that, okay? I don't know if I'm ready for another solo cast this early. It it'd be fun. I could put that more in my highlight reel. I still got to make one of those, but I've got some more.
There you go. There you go.
Got some clips from today to use for that.
Well,
And
speaking of highlights, I want to highlight these players again. I really do want to get back to the bot lane because these two games, like in the first game, we really got to see the power that Ayla and Armeo have together. When they can go into these fights, they can set it up with Ayla being the one that calls it, and then Armeo immediately afterwards. But game 2, I was kind of expecting that it was going to be Isles with Malice, almost like to counteract that. But it really just was Malice helping out Darshan, focusing completely on the top half of the map. So Bradley was playing something comfortable like Aurelia, had no shot in hell of doing anything because he was put so far behind.
It's one of those positions where you're playing Gnar into Aurelia and you really don't like the matchup. But if you get enough kills under your belt, you can actually just outplay it and solo kill it, because Gnar can end up being a carry, as opposed to the previous game where it's Ornn versus Fiora. You're never really going to match that in a side lane. You don't have enough damage to do that once Fiora has items. That's not the case. Gnar can build a ton of items that deal a lot of damage, and that's exactly what we saw. By the end of the game, Darshan was just solo killing Bradley, and it's thanks to the pressure that Malice brought to the table to stop that counterpick from being as brutal as we know it has been in the past. I love plays like that. I love that Malice even started doing it in both of these games before he even hit level 6.
Yeah, he should pretty much just saw that it's going to be a difficult lane for Darshan if he doesn't alleviate some of that pressure early. So instead of waiting for level 6, he found a really good angle at level 5 to gank top lane, get that kill for Darshan, and then also set himself up to keep revisiting. They constantly were in a cycle where he just would visit top lane, get a kill on Bradley, rinse and repeat over and over again. Gotta imagine there's some sort of campgrounds and some fairs that were collected by Team Liquid with how much of a tent was set up by Malice.
And it helps that the rest of the map is working out really well, too. We saw King get very ahead on the Jinx thanks to some more ganks from Malice. He was really everywhere on this Evelynn. And that is the most terrifying thing to be as Evelynn for the other team. He is everywhere. You have nowhere that is safe. You are going to get picked off. And even though Team Liquid did a great job of avoiding that in Game 1, you can't play perfectly against that champion forever. You will get picked, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I think Team Liquid are just going to ban that one away this time around, not giving Malice 3 opportunities in a row to really show just how comfortable he is on this pick, as much as I'm sure the Cloud9 fans at home are a bit dismayed by that one. 3 Evelynn games would be pretty fun.
It would be, but I'm expecting that it will be a Karthus, Udyr, and Evelynn ban from the side of Team Liquid, despite switching sides onto the blue side, while they first pick that Hecarim that you kind of alluded to before. Making sure it's essentially 4 bans aimed towards Malice and the Shyvana to come out of Malice, but there's only one way to find that out, really. Obviously, it's Champions Select, but we're not there yet. We got to wait for that. We got to be patient, everyone out there, because we still got to talk a little bit more, wait for the players to get ready, and let's start talking a bit about this mid lane. Because Harry, game 1 on Ahri into Graves, did really well. He was able to roam around a lot, make sure that they could set up with that Nocturne as well. But game 2, after that one botched play in the bot lane, it just seemed like the gas was empty out of the tank for Harry.
Kept getting picked off in that game. We saw a glimpse of what his performance was against FlyQuest Academy just last week, and even though they won both of those games, not the cleanest, because he kept getting picked off. And that is what we saw right here. I don't mean to disrespect FlyQuest, but it seems like Cloud9 Academy are just the better team when it comes to punishing mistakes like that and running away with the game when they are given the opportunity. Hey, that game was so fast, under 23 minutes. That's if that's any indicator for you. And Cloud9, they've been so good at this in the entire split long, especially when they did sub into Malice, because he's playing these scaling picks. He knows his limits on all of them very well. He's only played 5 champions in the entire split so far, and one of those is Shyvana, which he only got to play 1 time. Up until that point, it was only 4 champions, and this is what a honed champion pool looks like. As we do get into this game, we do have confirmation that Team Liquid are indeed on blue.
And there it is, Karthus banned first, Evelynn banned second.
Yep,
this is a traditional start that we see from teams that have learned the Malice experience of Evelynn. They do not want to let that over again, but look at this. Still, that jungle focus comes in from Cloud9, taking away everything that Armeo might want to play. And I'm surprised they banned the Hecarim and not the Nocturne and not the Hecarim themselves.
Yeah, I am too. I wonder if Malice thinks that Shyvana's really good into Hecarim, or if he has something else in store for us. Regardless, Team Liquid have to first pick this Hecarim.
Yes.
There's no other option. Malice will get his hands on that one. That is one of his most comfortable champions. And yeah, it is going to be the Shyvana. His 5th champion that he's played only once up until this point, did win on it previously, and will have the opportunity to do it again. And again, this must just be a comfort pick into the Hecarim for sure.
Hey, you just got to call me the prophet, that's all.
Yeah.
I called this exact setup happening, where it's the Hecarim that is left open by Team Liquid so they can first pick it, the Shyvana on the other side. But this is something interesting. We're seeing a lot of change because the bans have really been flexed around, where we saw Karma banned both times by Cloud9 when they were on the blue side. Here, they left it open, so they now get it. They get King and Isles on a good heavy poke bot lane, but it's into the Lucian and Nami lane, which is also incredibly powerful.
This is really interesting because we've seen that in this first phase of bans, none of the marksmen were banned away. No Jinx, no Zeri, and no Xayah either. Like, these have been the most popular champions in the role the entire tournament long. And what does Team Liquid do when that's the case? They say, hey, we're just gonna pick Lucian. We're just gonna go for all of the early game carry that we possibly can, try to match the early tempo of Team Liquid, maybe take it to them in their realm of game time, because mentioned before, Team Liquid up until this point, their average game time was nearly 37 minutes. That's 12 minutes longer than Cloud9's average of around 25. So this is a very big departure from that. Not that Lucian Nami can't play late game, but they're way better than most champions early.
Exactly. And doing a little bit of additional research on this Shyvana that has been locked in for Malice. Well, he's played it once here in the Proving Grounds. He did play it twice in Academy Spring.
Oh, okay.
Both times, unfortunately, it was the same matchup, the same setup. The Hecarim being the first pick, take it away from Malice, and both times he lost on it. So here, going for that Shyvana, even if it has been undefeated in the Proving Grounds, that's 1 of 1 games. This will be the second one. You can see that both teams now going into the second part of the draft are focusing on solo lanes, but different ones.
And if this truly is the best strategy to take down Malice, then Cloud9 did miss their opportunity to win their games on blue side. They lost the first game where they had side selection. So now it is up to them to win on red. And they have not played too many red side games in this entire tournament. They only played one, and they did win it, but it was against TSM Academy, who's already knocked out of the tournament. So they need to play against a much stronger team, a much better opponent in Team Liquid Academy, and actually overcome this weakness that they've shown, as they really do prefer the blue side over and over and over again. So see if they can do it. Zilean is really cool. This is the mid lane pick.
That's what I was looking at as well with the Seraphine.
Wow.
No. Is this going to be the ultimate flex? Do we see Seraphine bot lane with mid lane Lucian?
I don't know about that. I feel like it's probably just going to be Seraphine mid. The pick is really good.
I feel like it could be, but we have also seen that they are willing to put that Seraphine in the bot lane. Team Liquid have done this strategy before. Sure, not with Anami, but it has been something that they are comfortable playing. Gon is someone who can play those mages. He did it last year. Do it again in this pivotal game against Cloud9 with Darshan going on to a Scion into that classic pick that I was talking about before, the Gangplank from Bradley, that late game powerhouse that he brought the early stretches of the season.
This Cloud9 composition, now that they've locked in Scion, is fully bought in to the Shyvana pick. They are fully... They think that this champion can 1v9 the game. It's going to have to in this one because it doesn't have flash, but it does have all this movement speed available to it thanks to the Zilean and the Karma bolstering that all throughout the game. The Ghost 2 for Malice, the movement speed that you get from the W. He needs to get in range and get all these auto attacks down, and can he actually do that? He's the only one that's dealing damage in this whole team apart from a late game Ezreal from King.
It's going to be interesting for the side of Cloud9. It's almost like they have doubled down on making sure they can end this game around 25 minutes. They're really just saying, Team Liquid, you're not allowed to get past this point. We are drawing the line in the sand. This will be another early game victory for us. Otherwise, there'll be the scaling that can come through from Team Liquid. With the Lucian, sure, people don't really see him as a good late game scaler, but with two supports, a Hecarim to gallop in front of him, a Gangplank as well, that seems scary to me.
Definitely possible. The big strength, of course, for Lucian and Nami is in that laning phase. And Ezreal, Karma, they've got range, they've got poke. They definitely don't have, excuse me, they don't have the sustain. And that's really scary for me, because this is so much damage that Ayla and Yan have with the press the attack and the electrocute in that matchup. It's going to be really tough for King and Isles in this matchup. They have not been the strongest laning pair all throughout the tournament. They are on less practice, of course, as we do know from the videos that Cloud9 has released, that Sven is the one who's in scrims with the main team for Cloud9, and it's not King. So when they come into a lane like this, when they're against Lucian Nami, when they're against Yan and Ayla, some of the best performing laners in the entire tournament, this is where they have to put up or shut up. They have to actually make this happen for their team, because we're excited for Malice on the Shyvana. It really just can't be him only carrying this game. That's not feasible.
This is why I gotta give credit to King with how he's doing in Q. If I recall, he's actually in the top 5. One of the not
nice.
top 5, top 10. One of the few players that's not in CLG Academy that's in the top 5 at the top 10 at the moment, because they are dominating. But King is doing a valiant job as well, finding the practice where he can and doing a great job. We've even seen that throughout some of these games. Think just back to the last game. Sure, it wasn't the most stellar performance out of Isles, but King stepped up. He had the safety. All Isles needed to do was keep Jinx and King alive, and that's exactly what he did.
He's got the capabilities to do that on Karma, as well as bolster everyone's movement speed, like I was saying, with the Mantra, with the Shields, with the Inspire, with maybe a Shirelia's too. We'll see if he wants to go for that. I don't really like Shirelia's on Karma, because you already have all that movement speed. Maybe Isles will disagree with me. There's always that chance.
You also got the zooms coming in from Zillion, so don't forget that.
That too. I do actually like Shirelia's on Zillion, funny enough. The reason for that is that you have only a single target movement speed spell for Zillion, and when you use the Shirelia's on your ally, it gives you the movement speed too. And Zillion getting movement speed is really nice. Karma gives it to herself though with the Mantra, so you don't oftentimes need that much.
Oh, Max, do you see what I see? Shenanigans abound. This is a pivotal match to guarantee top 4 for one of these teams, where they're tied up 1 apiece here in the upper bracket. Cloud9 Academy are attempting a full man bot lane, but it's the line of scrimmage that comes out clutch for Team Liquid. Nice ward had been placed down, it was spotted out, cleared out. Not really going to be an advantage that Cloud9 can utilize.
All 5 members revealed there also means that Team Liquid can look into the enemy team's jungle. Not doing it that much, honestly, as Bradley is just here, likely warding this Krug camp for himself and just sitting here. I also do like this position in case Darshan is going for something crazy level 1 on Sion, and that actually is what he's doing. He is! Because if Bradley is in this position, he will know when Darshan arrives to the lane, and if he doesn't... See, look at this! There's a Mia ping onto Darshan's position. Yeah. I really like this from Bradley.
And look how safe Yan and Ayla are playing because of it. They understand that there's probably something cheesy being attempted. They're just waiting for the minions. And they even have the dash coming in from Lucian if they want to wait to scale up an ability.
There it is.
There they go. They spotted him out.
Nice. That is because of Bradley's position there. This is the reason that Darshan wasn't able to get anything done, and he's forcing to teleport very early on too. Yeah. Wow. I really like that play from Team Liquid. This is a great response to a cheeky level 1.
Yeah, it's pretty much you have to TP, otherwise it's going to be a crashed wave into your turret early on into the game, which gives Gangplank more of an advantage because he wants to scale, get some items under his belt to really become that menace.
He's going to be able to do that in this game, you have to feel. He's the big carry when it gets to that point on his team, alongside Armeo, who might go for some damage. Get some poke down onto Yan and Ayla, who won't hit level 2 as soon as Isles and King will because of that pressure from Darshan. So even though he did make that play happen and it was spotted out really early, it actually did have some dividends in this lane because of this, and Yan and Ayla don't get to use the big strength of Lucian Nami very early.
Well, see, this is one of the reasons why, even though I think Lucian Nami is one of the most powerful duos, maybe Lucian and Braum being another one, but it's a low range composition in this bot lane compared to Ezreal Karma, who can continue to harass you, poke you out in the lane phase, make it difficult for you to do what you want to do, which is play aggressively as Lucian.
underneath the turret right now. Armeo is in the area, which could lead to something to bounce back, but a nice ward here from King is going to deny this for now. And look at all this damage as well. Oh, wait. There's an early sweeper. Armeo's not spotted.
Nice. They have no idea now. Here's going to be the full engage coming in from Yawn to bait in Isles and King. They got the root, they got the ignite. They look for Isles, who flashed away, got charged into the wall. A lot of damage comes in from Armeo. He cannot escape, I don't think, because the Pony Express is here to take his victim.
Man, Isles thought he was safe after that one, but no such luck. Armeo was ghosted. He still has all of this movement speed, and it's first blood for the first time in this series going over to Team Liquid, if my memory serves correctly. Huge play, and again, this level 1 from Ayla and Yawn is continuing to work out because they had the sweeper really early on. They're able to make this play happen and get Armeo through the vision on top of Isles, getting this kill very early and forcing King out of lane. This is the aggression that you want to see from a Lucian Nami early.
I also, like you were talking about right before that play, that sweeper from Ayla was massive.
Yeah.
That alone was what made sure that they could have that play, because King and Isles felt confident. They felt they could fight if Yawn and Ayla wanted to play aggressively, because they didn't expect that Hecarim would still be in the bot side of the map. And there he was. Gallops his way right on top of either of them, chose the victim being Isles so they can at least get the kill.
This is the lane matchup that we've come to expect from Yawn and Ayla, who've been working on their craft for 3 splits in a row now, with some slight variations because of the LCS roster shakeup here and Rhino stepping in as well, but Yawn still able to grow while that was going on. And oh, look at this. Darshan did not clear the ward.
Choo-choo, here comes Pony Express version 2.0. The flash in from Darshan, not enough to escape, even if he's in the alcove. They want to give this kill to Bradley. Set him up for success,
No,
but
don't.
just one slice. He was waiting for it, but they were I think Armeo was worried that he was going to get away.
He wasn't going to get away. He just wanted the kill.
I know, but that's why you just give it to Bradley then.
Yeah, I mean, Armeo getting the kill is pretty good, and he is going for a damage build also.
That's true. You know what? Okay, I can respect taking the kill then as Hecarim, but still, giving a Gangplank a kill early is so massive for your team. And right now, Armeo, like Malice before him, who was all over the map, he is all over the map as well. He almost was able to counteract that dragon take, even if it's the dragon who takes the dragon herself.
I think they would have been more confident if the ward didn't miss. As you can see, Yawn didn't quite get it over that wall. A little bit of an oopsie means that they can't fully aggress upon Malice, who uses his ghost and the movement speed from Copy's Zillion to escape. Might not have been able to kill him, but it's a small thing right there that you don't really want to see if you're Yawn. We're in this position now where Team Liquid have a solid lead into this one. As Bradley just took a lot of damage.
Ult's used as well. Looks to kite this one back. Darshan even took a tower shot, so it's a little bit of damage. But yeah, it was an ult for ult at that point. I was a bit surprised that Bradley was playing so aggressively, knowing that it was going to be level 6 at any moment for Darshan.
Oh, youch. King taking more than half of his HP, and Bradley not actually fully committing to the recall, will be killed.
Oh, yeah, he'll just die right there, easily taken. Again, another nice dive from Malice. Makes these dives look clean each and every time he accomplishes one.
And Bradley just needed to commit to that recall in the end. On the other side, there are some ramifications for the bottom lane. King and Isles were forced to recall, and they do miss out on a gigantic wave, again denied away by the Lucian and the Nami. And Armeo there as well to collect his due. This is going to be some turret platings on top of it as Yawn gets a recall off, and that's going to be a pretty solid lead in the bottom lane. And speaking of gold, I'm not convinced that Darshan is actually that far ahead, and no, he's not. Because Bradley's playing this Gangplank, he gets more gold from these minions when he uses his parlay, and I believe he also has a cull. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. He's sitting on that cull, waiting to scale that one up. Plenty of time, since you're not expecting to do too much. That was a bit more of a surprise. I think Bradley wasn't expecting Darshan to look for such an aggressive play on Sion, which is maybe why he had overextended, and it allowed a nice setup for Malice to dive him in the top lane. But now he's just going back to say, oh, okay, I'm just here to clear waves. I got my call. I've had it for a bit. I can scale up, corrupting pots to keep me healthy. So that way I can give a lot of time to Armeo to focus on other places around the map.
That's all you need on Gangplank. Cull and a Sheen and maybe some mana potions, as he's got the corrupting ones For Bradley, that's all he can ask for in this game, just clearing away those minions over and over and over. And for Darshan, he has to match that clear speed too, because Bradley actually able to move into the river here and try to spot out Malice. This ward's actually effective this time around because there's no Evelynn to worry about, so that's quite nice. No stealth available for Shyvana.
No, but still, you're dealing with the Shyvana that's going for more of that bruiser type build and get buffed up by both Karma and Shyvana and Zilean.
Yep.
Make the Shyvana very threatening in the mid to late game. You already got a dragon secured for yourselves as well, just giving more magic resistant armor.
Harry playing the supportive champion too. It's really interesting seeing both of these players playing these supportive styles when they have tried to hard carry their way through the rest of this tournament. But I like the look. It shows more diversity in their champion pool. It shows that they're willing to play more styles, and we know that they're capable of this too. Wow, King just took so much damage.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to force a recall out if you can get one as King. That's why Malice is here, to maybe defend against a potential dive, expecting that Armeo is in the neighborhood, but instead goes back to clear out more of the camp to just stay safe and continue to scale up.
Every single time that dash and the Tidecaller's Blessing is available, you can see that one, and it's working super, super well onto King and Isles. They've got both their summoner spells, but they really just can't do anything in this lane other than let Jan and Ayla take some favorable resets for themselves and more turret plating gold on top of it. Getting to a point now where the Drake actually is contestable for both teams. Bradley has his ultimate, which he can use right there. And even though Darshan doesn't have his teleport, he can use his ultimate to walk down the river if he finds an angle there. So Drake team fight could be on the cards. And it's a Hextech 1-2, as C9 already took the first ocean.
Yeah, and just waiting it out at the moment. That's one of the pivotal things for Shyvana when you play her, especially in this role. Not going for the AP burst damage type build. You're going for the bruiser. You're going for the front line. You're the one that's leading the charge for the team alongside Darshan. You need these dragons to gain those additional resistance.
I always really love that mechanic on Shyvana. It's one of the most unique things here where it gives you even more incentive to go for those Drakes, because sometimes you just want to trade for those Rift Heralds, and sometimes you just need to get all the turret plate and gold in the early game, but not Shyvana. She wants to scale up and be as bulky as possible. Those Ocean Dragons actually giving an extra mountain on top of it most of the time. And we'll see Malice. He's the level down here to Armeo, who does have a Trinity Force already. So Mythic completed for Armeo means he likely will deal more damage than Malice in this fight.
Darshan, though. Darshan has already roamed down. That's going to be the Dragonborn pop. Looking for the engage damage. Here comes the choo-choo train. The speed up, but does not connect onto anybody. Nice cannon barrage. Split up the fight. Get a lot of damage on top of these members to wait out the exhaust that has been placed down onto Jan. A lot of waiting it out. A lot of created damage. The Seraphine is the first one to fall.
Harry definitely needed to flash out of that one because he now does not use his ultimate in this team fight, and this surely means that Cloud9 are able to take away this Drake. Armeo doesn't use the Blast Cone over this wall. He does not have any vision, and Cloud9 take a pick at a second Drake to their name. Huge play right there from Copy. He's the one that sets up the crowd control onto Harry, and he needs to do this because where is the crowd control coming from other than the Zilean bombs? Nowhere.
Zilean and maybe Sion, if you're lucky. They can land some of that, but it's a lot more telegraphed. And that's where you saw a bit of an issue. That's why they had to kind of kite back, wait to see if they could re-engage, catch someone overextended, and they found that in Harry.
To watch this play happen one more time, look at Copy on the Zilean. He gets hit by the tidal wave, and a cannon barrage slows him down as well. But in the nick of time, he finds this play onto Harry. No Seraphine ultimate for the entirety of the fight. Huge stun into the Everfrost, into the knockup from Darshan, and that's that crowd control chain that becomes a lot easier and more reliable, where you no longer have to say maybe Sion. If you get hit by the bombs, it's yes, Sion. You are just dead.
Right there, Armeo, it was looking a little dicey for a second since Copy Darshan was both in the vicinity to contest that Rift Herald, but with Malice not being quite so nearby, they had to concede that first neutral objective that Team Liquid have taken. Pretty much a reverse of fates that we're seeing in this third game, where normally it's been Team Liquid getting these neutral objectives consistently. They're the ones who are set up to find those early plays and make sure they can get to the late game. But here, we're seeing that they're the ones who got first blood. They're the ones who are now losing out in those neutral objectives, and there, they got a good trade onto King.
That was so much damage onto King. I'm surprised he didn't just flash away after seeing the burst, but he keeps that one for himself, uses the arcane shift, and will just give up all of this turret, plates included, to Team Liquid Academy. Tons of gold there. Malice responding in turn top.
But Bradley might just get a solo kill. The flash
No
away
way.
parlay. 1 for 1 in the top lane.
Good play from Bradley to find that kill. Doesn't even flash either. Just finding all of this damage onto Darshan. And again, he's going for the Trinity Force too. There's so much damage on Team Liquid's side, and they will remain that way for the entirety of this game. Rift Herald charges again, and look at King. He can't continue.
Wow.
He can't compete with this. Yon doesn't even have his Gale Force yet. This is going to get even more scary.
I love these plays from Team Liquid, and pretty like you were setting up. Bradley not using the flash and still getting the kill onto Darshan despite dying makes that play in the bot lane even more worth it. They already got so much off of it, but they also get the kill top lane so they don't lose their turret too.
Gangplank's goal is going to grow and grow and grow into a evil monster. The Cloud9 fear in the night as Bradley might take their game once more. Both teams on match point in this best of 3 series. And we got a bit of a pause right now, so we can talk about it a bit more as well. Here, for Cloud9, they're definitely feeling less comfortable than they have all throughout this entire series. I mean, maybe that's not true. Maybe Malice is actually vibing as he's playing the Shyvana with all of this support on his team. Again, I don't know if this champion is actually capable of 1v9ing. I just need to see it in front of my eyes to believe it.
Might be possible when you have double supports in a tank that can ride in with you. So we'll see how that will work out for Cloud9. But I really want to talk about how this looked. More of a late game scaling composition for the team fights. Even if we did see some of those team fights work out for them in game 2, this really is them doubling down, not to win so early like they did in that previous game or even tried to do in the first game. They are playing Team Liquid's gameplay. They are willing to scale it up and try to see if they can contend against them, especially when you on the opposite side have to deal with double supports and a tank, and well, I guess a pseudo tank because Armeo did go for more damage build with the Trinity Force. But still, you're having a very similar look from both sides of the rift.
I think we're going to be going right back and seeing all that action unfold once more. Not sure what that pause was, but it seems brief enough to where it's all right. We'll just get right back. And Armeo, like you're saying, he's not playing the same tank threat as something like Darshan is on the other side. He's dealing a lot more of that damage. And honestly, having more carries when you do have these supports can be very beneficial. You don't really want to have just only tanks on your team. If your carry dies, then you don't really get a lot of use out of these enchanters if you don't have any other carries. So I like that a lot.
So do I. I really like to see this look. It's something that we saw a lot of last year, but it fell off for quite some time. But here it's slowly crawling its way back in, similar to the crit hyper-carrying marksman that we're seeing across regions. But in this game at the moment, pretty dead even if it looks like a 2,000 gold lead for the side of Team Liquid. Keep in mind that a lot of that is off the back of getting that bot lane turret for Yon and Ayla. That's where they have a lot that they've already grown over C9, who have the advantage in 2 dragons for Shyvana.
Need to actually use that gold on something. You can't just take it and not fight anyone with it most of the time. So for Team Liquid, I fully agree with you. They need to actually show us that they are capable of this outside of just Armeo finding Hecarim kills onto multiple people. Both junglers 2-0 in this game. Is Malice's counterpick of the Shyvana really that good? We might be able to see in this next play.
I wouldn't necessarily say counterpick, just the last pick. Because it was essentially 4 bans thrown at him right out of the gates by a
6
Team Liquid.
jungle bans if you count Cloud9's.
Yeah, but those aren't champions that Malice is going to play, let's be honest. So it's the final straw, the last one remaining for Malice. And here, they're setting up, waiting the time out for the Cloud Dragon, where normally people might go, Dragon Soul, Cloud Dragon Soul, who cares? It is very important for Malice. I already set up that many times before, and I'll say it again. getting these early dragons onto Shyvana makes up for that gold deficit you have, because that's
Ooh.
3 resources you get with the benefit of that passive.
Bradley is teleporting to this play. It will be a true 5v5. No cannon barrage shenanigans.
Okay, and look at that combo between the top side of Team Liquid. Eviscerating huge charm too. Copies down. It's a double kill for Yawn. Make it more when they take down King.
Wow, and they effectively killed 4 people right there through the Zilean ultimate. Isles insta-killed, Copy, crowd controlled, and King killed through the Zilean ultimate as well. Clean Drake take, clean engage from Team Liquid. And look at this, Malice and Darshan didn't even get to ultimate the entire time right there. They might just lose this mid lane turret. They might get killed under it if they try to defend this, as Team Liquid, they prove it to us right there. They have the kills, they have the damage, and the mechanics to win this game.
And when we get a look at that replay, just look at the initial engage between Armeo and Bradley, layering up the onslaught of shadows with Cannon Barrage.
This is so beautiful here. Oh, wow. Fearing everybody back into the tidal wave 2. Picture perfect ultimate usage from all of Team Liquid Academy, and even the Encore to close it out as well. Everyone getting feared and then finding those scrap plays. So we come back to live. Harry has to flash this time.
He was worried. I think it was that bluff that I talked about before, where it's use the Moonlight Vigil aggressively and make it seem like there's more people there, but there's none. Right there, Copy understood. He listened to my lessons. Said, you know what, I could bluff. Say that there's someone nearby. That forced the flash from Harry. Malice might have been near, was not quite near enough to actually look for a full play onto Harry. So they get a free summoner with only burning the Everfrost that's already back up.
You know what I really want to see from Ayla here is a Mikkel's Crucible. I think that'd be super clutch in this game, because you're against only one feasible form of crowd control. It's the Zilean Bomb. Everything else you can pretty easily avoid. Wow.
Cowards.
There's one
yelled out by Darshan, but again, it's hard to get on top of Illusion, who has so much mobility and safety when you have Nami on your team.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, Darshan's crowd control is really difficult to land. It's mostly going to be zoning, so you need to be able to cleanse away the Zilean Bomb from whoever gets hit by it, as shown by Harry, forced to flash that time, even just in the isolated 1v1. Now Bradley looking for an engage onto Malice with the tidal wave. They won't be able to find it.
I think they're trying to burn the Dragon form out of Malice as they look set up for that Rift Herald on the top side of the map, because they're already feeling for it. You might not have the vision control. They got members. They're already getting recalls out of Cloud9.
Good hesitancy from Malice to not use it, though. He knows he's still safe, and he knows he does have the Zilean ultimate. He's not going to contest this Rift Herald, though. And this does mean the Cloud9 have to worry about another turret being taken, probably that mid one. And at that point, Malice is going to struggle quite drastically to keep up in CS. Mid lane turret and the outer ones oftentimes means your Raptors, your Wolves, your buffs are not safe to take in the entire rest of the game if your opponents are playing well. And Team Liquid is a team that does play well.
As well, this is all about revenge from the season, where they had lost 1-3 in their record against Cloud9 Academy. The 0-2 loss at the beginning, and a 1-1 at the very end. They can take down Cloud9 here, Game 3, continue their ride in the upper bracket. What kind of statement would that be for Team Liquid and their rise towards the top?
Well, it'd show us something that we probably already know here, which is that this team with Ayla is one of the big tournament favorites, and they should be taken as such. They did win most of their games in the last year, and they only lost the finals after subbing out their top and jungle. Armeo back in action, and Bradley, the new kid on the block, has been performing very well in this game and in previous ones. And I think for Team Liquid, they can really be excited about this and know that they have this really solid team cohesion on their team, even if it is matched by that of Cloud9 as well, who are also rocking with 4 out of 5 of their players from the last split, where they did perform super well.
Well, for both teams, you have that similar story. Team Liquid, the only difference they have is Bradley in the top lane. For Cloud9, it is Malice in the jungle. And there is a lot on this game, with Bradley getting heavily focused, healing himself with those oranges, but it's not enough to escape Malice's wrath.
Way too much damage from the Shyvana there. Now with 2 items, it's impossible to escape from, and teleporting here is really tough.
Teleport. looking to see what they can burn out of Cloud9 since we've got a few seconds until that dragon will spawn. Team Liquid don't want to give that up without a fight.
Double teleports there is pretty interesting, though. Copy and Harry, neither of them will have those, and neither will Darshan now that he has used it in the mid lane. Likely going to be responded by the teleport from Bradley once he spawns, and we can see another team fight pop up around this Drake. Team Liquid Academy, they still have this Rift Herald in their disposal, and they will use it into the mid lane, likely getting that mid lane turret. With the teleport here, it's going to be another 5v5, and C9 need to avoid all the crowd control that hit them the last time.
And look at where Armeo is. This time, he's been spotted. See the pings on top of him? There's Malice, making sure that he's not going to have that same kind of impact like he did in the last fight, nor are they fighting in tight corridors to get caught off by Tidal Wave, Encore, Onslaught of Shadows, and Cannon Barrage.
Look at the Rift Herald, though. It's dealing so much damage in that mid lane. It already took the first
It's
turret,
got a secondary
charging
turret.
onto a second one. That is pretty scary for Cloud9 to deal with, and Darshan potentially looking to stop that mid lane push, because the longer they wait, the more they will lose in that mid lane. As Darshan in the front line, hit by the Tidal Wave.
Okay, Tidal Wave gonna get the knock up with Darshan taking up as much as he humanly can, but he's got a nice charge onto Bradley, but is that enough with Armeo diving in deep and dying still? Has the revive on top of Zillion so he can continue to throw out those bombs, but right now it is in favor of Cloud9. They've got the one kill, they've taken out the jungler, but it's still a dance. They're fearing what can be thrown back at them by Team Liquid with how much gold they have, especially on the top side, especially out of Yawn, with a lot of damage now thrown out by Bradley, cutting off the fight with that Cannon Barrage, chasing down the Zion. They can't get him, and Isles will survive as well.
Look at Yon's movement in this team fight right now, Magical. He's able to chunk out so many different members with his dashes, and the sustain is here now. Team Liquid are refueled. They can stay in this team fight even if it's 4v5. Can they actually outsmite the Shyvana, though, and take away this Drake?
Know.
They
it's
can't.
Slow, it's secured, but look at how low the health bars are, and look who has respawned. He is galloping back to the fight. They are far from home, and they don't want to let this stop. They've got the kill over the side of Hela, but that's allowing Yawn to play aggressively as he chases down Cloud9. Couldn't get any more.
Finding a kill onto Copy there makes it a 1-for-1 in the end, and Team Liquid keep that pressure going in the mid lane too. That turret is very close to dead, and Cloud9 missed a lot of those minions all the while. Team Liquid pushing through this river onto the Baron. Malice has the ultimate. I don't know if they expect it will be this close to back up. And Cloud9, once they get vision on this Baron, it could be a dicey one. This feels like a 50-50 to me.
It's really close. There's Malice. He already used the Dragon Form, getting a lot of damage onto the members of Team Liquid with a little bit of poke coming in. Tidal Wave splits up the fight, but where's Malice, and how is he to get into the pit with it taken so low? It's nearly dead. Strike secured for Armeo, but now the fight with a nice spear onto two members. Darshan, though, is so damn huge that Cloud9 can continue to follow up as King has to stay alive on the other side with Bradley continuing the fight. Screw shot barrage! King finds one with more to fall soon. Bradley's gone with a 1v1 duel against Darshan.
Two members dead for Team Liquid Academy, and Cloud9 find a couple of stragglers after that Baron is taken. Still a Baron, though, for Team Liquid Academy. They've got it on 3 total members, and now they're stacking up back in mid lane. We'll see if they can avoid losing out on that turret. They do. I feel like this still favors Team Liquid. They still have that gold lead. They've got some scaling on their side, and these team fights are looking good as long as they're not fighting over these objectives as we watch this again. Malice just can't get into this pit. He's trying to play on the outskirts. It's hit by the Encore, and then that does signal the rest of Team Liquid to take this one. And this would have been only one pick off if it hadn't been for King's true shot barrage. I can't believe he finds this snipe.
Great play. Just great heads up. Mechanics from King. This just shows why this player has been continuing in Academy as a dominant player. Back last year, he was one of the top 80 carries that everyone was looking towards when he played with Cloud9. Sure, didn't have the most results that they would have wanted to out of the summer split. They did make it into the finals of Academy. They faced off against Team Liquid like they do now, all the way to 5 games. And here we are, best of 3 in the final game. Rinse and repeat, it seems, from these two teams, neck and neck all the way.
He's got a lot of damage here, but Darshan is super tanky and will be able to avoid a good chunk of it. They've still got this Baron wave, and if they can avoid this wave clear from the Zillion and the Ezreal, then these turrets are paper thin. bunch of members here for Cloud9. They might be looking for an engage, depending on what Malice is feeling right now. But no, they will give over this turret. They will give over the one in mid lane. It's a structural advantage again for Team Liquid off of this Baron. Only a minute left on it. Can they get anything else? The inhibitor turrets feel a bit far off to me right now, and Cloud9 are doing a great job defending.
They're making sure that at least they're not losing out the base entirely. Some gold has been pushed over towards Team Liquid to give them a little bit more of a lead. As we see, it has now gone up nearly 4,000, but they are still behind in the Dragon. 3 Dragons to the mere eager 1. Team Liquid have been able to get. That can be Cloud9 saving grace, unless, of course, they can pick off Malice before that even spawns with the Dragon Form knock-up. That's a huge shutdown for Yawn.
Oh, I love that play from Armeo. He knocks Malice away from Copy's range, and the Chrono Shift is not available to keep himself alive a second time. Malice uses the Dragon Form, and now, with their last few seconds of the Baron, they're going to take yet another structure. Team Liquid exploding in the gold lead off of that play from before, and another pick, a shutdown this time onto Malice, is really, really meaningful. Team Liquid are showing that they still have this resilience as a team, and they're showing that they very well could be the favorites to move on into the upper bracket finals against Golden Guardians.
At the moment, it is their lead to command and control against Cloud9 Academy, and if history does indeed repeat itself, it'll be the second time in seasons that we've seen Team Liquid Academy knock down Cloud9 Academy in crucial final game matches.
Want to acknowledge something that I'm sure Twitch chat has been talking about a lot. Bradley did just get over the Infinity Edge threshold just now. He didn't have it before, so now he finally has the stronger crits thanks to those 3 crit cloaks. Has been delaying his next item for quite some time, and I know chat's probably been very annoyed by this. I have been silent about it, but he does finally achieve this.
Kind of needs it though. He needs that extra crit to really bring the bang towards Cloud9, who are getting tanky, who are getting difficult to kill. You already saw, except for King. King is not so tanky, but Darshan and Malice are. Copy gets a lot of damage with that goal.
Wow.
That's going to be the cannon rush, forcing out the members on the other side with a nice encore, but it's not enough unless they can kill King. He's going to be revived by the Chrono Shift, but they've got the picks, they've got the plays, they've got the flash on the Copy Rampage from Yawn.
Yawn is the carry in this skirmish. The culling, bolstered up by the Nami, takes out multiple members so low and puts Cloud9 on the back foot. Team Liquid are looking to end the game right now. They're looking to make it to the upper bracket finals right this second. Malice doesn't have ultimate. King is dead. Copy's dead. They might be able to do it right this second.
It's 20 seconds until King will spawn. There goes the engage attempted by Darshan, but he's not taking up with no members to back him up. They're waiting it out, but they've already got the stun onto Darshan. He's trying to clear him out the best he can, but look at Armeo getting the charge to the back line with Isle tied to the double kill coming in from Yawn. Team Liquid, history does repeat itself and will knock down Cloud9, winning Game 3 and continuing their march in the upper bracket.
They'll be playing against Golden Guardians Academy in the upper bracket finals this Wednesday, a best of 5. You are not going to want to miss that one. Book your calendars, set up shop in the Twitch chat, and get ready for a bloodbath of a best of 5 series. Both of these teams played so well today, and Team Liquid, their bottom lane, specifically Yawn, on this Lucian, completely putting up obscene damage numbers in this last game and playing this champion like a hyper carry in the late game, even though it's super short range.
That's what I was kind of talking about. People always underestimate Lucian and how he can play in the later stages of the game. Yawn understood. He knew how strong he was on that Lucian. He was, I think, ended the game something like 7-0 to really clinch that victory and continue their run in the upper bracket, knocking down Cloud9 into the lower, face off against the winner between 100 Thieves Academy and CLG Academy. Right now, Smacks, we're going to toss it to a break. When we come back, we'll have a player interview, hopefully. So make sure you stay tuned. Hello. Welcome into the Verizon post-game interview. I'm Magical, joined in by the mid laner of Team Liquid Academy, Hayri. Congratulations on the 2-1 victory, and what a battle in that last game. That was so exciting.
Yeah, the last game was definitely it was a banger. I think both comps were very similar, and yeah, it was
Oh,
it, wa-
there's no-
it was like a dopamine rush at the end.
I mean, it was good. And the first game, you looked really clean. It was great to see. Second game, not so much. The Ari didn't seem like it did as well into that matchup. So can you kind of
Yeah.
discuss like what was the decision going into the final game to? I mean, one Ari was banned, I believe, but also going over to Seraphine, more of the supportive Enchantress style.
Yeah. So in draft, I didn't really expect the Zillion on fourth pick. Like Seraphine was always a champion that we kind of play. I think I played it like a few weeks ago as well. So I think it
Yeah,
just
and you
really
played it a
suited
lot
well with
last
like
year
our
too.
comp. Yeah, yeah. We have Hecarim, and then we have a very strong bot lane. So I think it was very good to pick the Seraphine, and I also think it's a better enchanter than the Zillion. So yeah, I think it was a really good pick
All
there.
right. I mean, you got some great encores in that fight. Like those fights were
Yeah,
so crucial to find. Like you guys had the wombo combo of any wombo combos I've seen. Hecarim ult, tidal wave coming in from Nami, encore from
yeah,
you, all with the cannon barrage on top of it. Just seemed like no matter what, any corridor was just owned by Team Liquid.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, our
Yeah.
comp
So,
had a lot of
it,
AoE damages. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
it was really
you know,
nice.
I want to ask some more personal stuff for you. So,
Yeah,
uh, we did a house tour recently for Team Liquid, and everyone
yeah.
talked about how good you were at cooking. Is this true?
Cooking.
Yeah.
I don't really cook, but I mean, like the other guys probably cook less than me, even though I cook like I don't know
Oh,
once
really?
a year.
Really?
So
But don't you have good,
yeah,
tasty food and know like what?
I mean, I can cook very like basic dishes. Like I mean, I can like fry meat. I can make eggs. Just like the very simple gamer meals. But I don't think
Hey,
any of the other guys really cook at all. So I guess I have the advantage.
I was about to say. I
Yeah.
was about to say, I don't know many people who could even do that much. So
Okay.
it's really funny
Yeah.
to hear you're more humble about it while everyone raves about how well you cook and also the victory dinners that you guys all have. So it's
Yeah.
always funny to see. And I also do want to bring up one more thing. So going in the future, you're going to face off against Golden Guardians Academy in the upper bracket. You guys are now in the best of 5 segment of the tournament. You're facing off against Violet, who you last,
Yeah.
I believe it was last time you and Ayla both met up against him was back in Oceania back in 2020. How do you feel about this rematch that you've had after going from one region to the next?
Yeah, I think playing versus like O's players is always super fun. Like even like C9 has two O's players right now, so it's always fun versing those players. I think those players that came to NA are really strong as well, and obviously that's why Violet's here because he's a good player. I also have a lot of respect on Ryama, who's also on that squad, and I think it'll be a fun series. Uh, I don't remember how the games in O's went versus Violet, but hopefully we can show him NA Academy.
All right. Well, hopefully you can as well. I'm excited for those games when they take place. But before we wrap up this interview, Harry, I want to give you the floor
Yeah.
to talk about whatever you feel like, thinking fans, family members, or just being like, you know what, I'm going to do this against Golden Guardians. I'm going to pick this, and they can't stop me.
Yeah, first of all, thank you to our fans and our sponsors and like our teammates. Like the couple of last weeks has been shaky for us, like internally, but we brought it back really well. And I think today's games were pretty close, but I think like our players are really good, and we kind of showed that we are capable of being a very good team. And I think next week should be really fun. I don't. I heard it might have been like on the studio. I'm not sure if it's confirmed for next week, but maybe it's only for the grand finals. But if it is in the studio, I think that's very exciting as well because it'll be my first time playing in the studio. So yeah,
Oh,
regardless, I'm still very excited.
I don't know the answer of that as well. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the same answer as you, but I'm excited for it regardless. Thank you so much, Avery,
Yeah.
for joining in. Good luck in the future and have fun celebrating tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Woo! I like the clap stack there. Oh, that's awesome to hear. But I'm going to bring back in my caster of Smacks to join me to wrap up everything. They can go off, celebrate, and everything. But now it's time for us to wrap up the show, Smacks. That was a full game day that we had. Both series going full 4-3.
That was such a cute way to close out the interview as well. I'm
was.
so glad to see all the friends and teammates hyping up Harry at the end of the show as well. What a respectful, kind boy in the
Oh, I know.
interview. I loved that from Harry, and a well-deserved one too after that win. Great stuff from Team Liquid Academy. Can't wait to see them in their matches on Wednesday, and hopefully, yeah, in person on next week's games too.
We'll see. We'll have to see about that one. But let's wrap up today and let's look at the bracket to see how today's results have shaken things up. We already kind of alluding to that previously, that we now have our winners finals up here with Golden Guardians Academy and a Team Liquid Academy, number 2 and number 4 of Academy. I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out, especially because we saw how close those games were. Immortals taking Golden Guardians to the full 3. I don't think a lot of people expected that going into today.
I definitely didn't. I thought that Golden Guardians was going to take that one 2-0. So Immortals Academy definitely showing up there and making that more interesting. And they will need to do that later on in the week as well. As tomorrow we're going to be seeing the last best of 3s in the entire tournament. From then on forward, it'll only be best of 5s. And we got some good ones too. Dignitas Academy, FlyQuest Academy playing first, and then 100 Thieves, CLG. All of these teams playing for their lives tomorrow as they are in the lower bracket. And they're planning to play against the losers of today.
Yeah, you can see right there, Dignitas, FlyQuest. Whoever wins will face off against Immortals, while 100 Thieves and CLG have to face off against Cloud at 9. Whoever comes out victorious tomorrow, it's not going to be any easier going forward. This is where it really starts to test everyone's limits. The pressure is on, and you got to step up.
And Magical, as we're closing out the show, I have something to show you and all of the fans as well. It is something that arrived just today. My signed Ayla jersey. Look at that!
Hey, look at that!
I am the biggest Ayla fan in the world. He's even got his name on the back.
Look
at that.
I knew that you had something like that from Ayla, but I didn't know that it arrived today.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Just in time for me to cast his victory. Go Ayla!
Yeah. Maybe that's what gave him the buff. Gave him the buff to find the victory. Team Liquid Academy looked good. Games 1 and 3. Finding that 2-1 victory over Cloud9. Continuing forward and now into the best of 5s. But we got to look at what we still have ahead. We still have one more day of best of 3s, and that will be tomorrow.
Yeah, but I was talking about this before. Also, these matches are going to be so close, so interesting. I'm specifically looking at the later one as well, because like I was saying earlier in the show, Counterlogic Gaming, they are the first seed. They just got upset by Immortals. What are they going to do to bounce back? And what are they going to do against a 100 Thieves Academy squad that is ramping up so heavily and just beat one of the other big tournament expectations havers in 100 Thieves Next, their sister team. They just 2-0'd those guys. So going to be a great series, both of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to be an exciting day, and I cannot wait, but we'll have to wait at least until tomorrow to have those games take place. Max, thanks for joining me, and I'm glad I got to join with you, best friends over here for another cast, even if it was a last-minute substitution for myself.
Yep, I loved it. It was a great time. I hope that Kangas and Mazel are feeling all right after the internet outages. I know they're probably beating themselves up about that, but
that's
what are you going to do?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Can't do much about that one. Glad to be here for my last day on the Proving Grounds split as well. Got to show some unexpected play-by-play today, so it was a good time overall. Congratulations to both the Golden Guardians and Team Liquid Academy. Really looking forward to that next match.
Well, Smacks, it's been fun having you around, and I will miss you for the future days. But you know what? We'll still have to just hang out outside of work. For now, I'm going to close out the day. It has been wonderful. Hearts for everyone, and have a wonderful night.